working on the other side.
Hey my frugal friends, wagwan. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, Frugality Is Life. Thank you so much for being here. So, what are we gonna do today? We are gonna talk about my trip to Kenya and how much it cost, what did we do, how did we plan for it, all the things. So I'm recording this video before I go to work today, but I'm actually working from home, so hopefully I can get this done and then get ready for work. Okay, so I don't intend for it to be super long. I hope not. I'm going to condense it as much as possible. All right, I also have some coffee here that I am working on the side because it's, you know, about 7 a.m. All right, just let's jump right in. So this travel binder planner is from Clever Fox, and I got this from Clever Fox some time ago. I have a coupon code in my description section if you're interested in purchasing this. I must say this came in very handy, but you could also track this using a travel journal or something else, right? But I absolutely love this because it already had the prompts for you, already had things just for you to like fill in. So I love that. So I would recommend, to be honest, I would recommend. So I believe this one has maybe up to six trips that you can do. I think so. Don't quote me. It's been a while since I looked in it, but there's a few trips, either 4 or 6. So see, you can, there's space for more trips. So I'm definitely going to use this again because I absolutely loved it. So going through this quickly, it gives you like some tips, safety tips, pre-check trip tips, packing list trips, lists, sorry, things to think about, which I absolutely love because sometimes, you know, you forget things. It teaches you a little bit of different languages for you to get ready for your trip, right? And, you know, different symbols and stuff for you to be able to identify them when you go to different countries, different places. It gives you the metric conversions, which is really good. So length, capacity, weight, etc. Give you different time zones, temperature, different things. I love that. It's like, you know, it's very thoughtful, right? And then you have where you can put your travel bucket list. I haven't filled these out yet, but hopefully I will. And then plan your next trip. So it gives you the map of the world for you to look and say, okay, where do I want to go for this trip? You guys know we went to Kenya. Kenya is right here. It is a country, one of the 54 countries in Africa, and it is right here. Okay. All right. So where was I? Because I have no idea where I left off. Oh, I was saying Kenya. Okay, so Kenya is in East Africa. Okay. So that's where we went, and it was lovely. Okay. So it gives you this like a month spread for you to kind of use how you want to organize your trip. So we went in September 2025. This is how I try to use here to kind of organize my trip, to say, hey, this is when I'm on vacation, this one is when I want to depart, this one is when we will arrive. And so I kind of laid it out like, okay, we're leaving on the 7th, we're arriving there on the Monday, so the 8th. So we left on the 7th, and we arrived on the 8th. So it was like 24 hours in transit. So it was a long trip. If I was to give some tips for traveling on these long trips, is that make sure you are wearing something comfortable. Make sure it's breathable. Make sure you have, you know, some little wipes and different things to freshen up along the way. You keep that on you. Make sure that you have, you know, your neck pillow ready, that you're comfortable. Like these flights we went on, they give you like blankets. They also give you neck pillows, but sometimes it's not always comfortable. So yes, and they like, we went on what was our flight? I will tell you guys in a second. I don't know where I'm blanking out, but it was really good. I highly recommend. If I can remember, Emirates was our flight. So I absolutely loved Emirates. Okay, so kind of made things done. So we were flying from Toronto. We connected in Dubai. So we fly from Toronto to Dubai. We laid over for I think 4 hours, and then we left Dubai to Nairobi. And that was another, I think it was another 3 hours. I think so. From Toronto to Dubai was it's like 7 hours, 8 hours. Okay, I'm totally forgetting what happened here, guys. But I will hopefully remember when I'm editing this. I put it on the screen. However, we were in transit for about 24 hours. Okay, that's it to get to our. So it was a long flight. So I think those are a couple things that I would say. Make sure like if you bring your little travel things. So if when you travel you have migraines or headaches or different things, I would say to take some little like Advil or Tylenol, whatever the pill is that you take for your headaches. Take those with you. I find like it was really easy to go. Well, we didn't go expensive for these trips, but because like for your seats, but those more expensive seats are more comfortable for these longer flights. We did the regular seats on this plane. It was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. But if we were to be flying for a longer time, I would definitely think of upgrading those seats because you are just you sometimes you have to get up, you have to stretch, you have to do things like it's a long like flight, a long time to be in transit, and so yeah, just be ready. All right, make sure you download your movies on these planes. They have movies, so nothing to fear. You had your movies, but just in case your flight doesn't give movies or entertainment, make sure you download movies or different things that you would want to listen to or watch. Make sure you have that, or you have your books ready, or different things like that. So entertain yourself as you go. So those would be my recommendation. So everything I didn't plan every single thing ahead. And because I was stressing out myself so much, this was one of the first trips I've gone on that would be so far away. And so I was a little bit stressed in the beginning. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to let it go and let it flow, right? Let it go and let it flow. So we booked, of course, our flights to get from Toronto to Kenya and then from Kenya back. And as I said, we had layover both times going and coming back in Dubai. So that was booked at that time. I also booked a hotel for just a few days, just a couple of days when we landed in Nairobi. And then I booked an Airbnb after that one. And then when we were in that Airbnb, we kind of booked the rest of the trip. That's because I wanted to be able to drive around, see the city, get to know the city, get to know where I wanted to stay, where I wanted to go, different things like that. We knew in our heads that we wanted to go to Mombasa, which was like a 15 hours away, but we knew we had options of a train and also options of a flight. So I decided to book that also when we were there. So yeah, so I would say I didn't book the whole thing ahead of time. I just wing some of it, but I knew how I was getting there and getting back. That's all. So this was kind of my plan, how I planned things out, when we left, when we got back, when we checked in, where were the different times to check into different hotels and move around and different things like that. So in general, this is a high level of the trip. So we left Toronto to Dubai, from Dubai to Nairobi. When we got to Nairobi, we checked into the Holiday Inn hotel because I wanted to also keep this budget friendly. There were so many really nice hotels there. The Holiday Inn was great. Like, it was comfortable, it was clean. I had no concerns at all. But there were other like upscale hotels if you're on a bigger budget and you want to spend, like the Kempinski. Different hotels are really nice, but that was not our goal. Our goal was to get there on a budget, and because this is already a far trip and we're going to break down the cost, so hang on. All right, so I booked the Holiday Inn and then we stayed there for a couple nights. Then we checked out and we checked into Airbnb that was in a different section of Nairobi, and then we stayed there for, I think, so we checked in on the 10th, we checked out on the 13th, and when we went to Diani, which is like, like the Mombasa area, which is like the beach area of Kenya. So the city, Nairobi, busy, bustling. Think of New York, think of Toronto. And then we left that city. We stayed in two different parts of the city. So we stayed at like an area that was just a little bit outside of Nairobi, and that was very quiet. It had a nice mall to walk around. They had like a mall called Two Rivers Mall, very nice, loved it. And then we left there and we checked into an Airbnb that was right in the thick of things, like downtown. You could walk to different things, loved that. And then we checked out and we took a flight from Nairobi to Diani, and that was now we were on the beach. So we checked into a resort called Tequila Sunrise, right on the beach. It was so nice. We really enjoyed it. We had like a place for ourselves. If I can find any pictures or anything, I will show you guys. But we had like a whole little villa for ourselves. It was like 2 minutes walk to the beach. I did some shorts and different things, like me walking to the beach. The beach was absolutely gorgeous. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I love that we could be by ourselves in our villa, and it was so quiet, so serene, very nice. So we stayed there for, we checked in on the 13th, and then we checked out on the 16th. And from there, so you can see how this month review really helped us. And then we checked out on the 16th, and then we checked into another resort, another villa called Tumble House. This was more in like the woods. It was more like if you were like nature, more of that, but loved it just the same. And so it was kind of off the grid, so we had to like, when we wanted to go back into town for like dinners and different things, we had to like take the tuk-tuks. But it was really good. So we checked there into there, and then we left there on the, when did we left there? We left there on the 19th. So we checked in on the 16th, left there on the 19th, and then we went back to Nairobi, which we checked into a Airbnb. And then from that Airbnb, we left there and back home. Okay, so that was kind of our trip at a glance. Now let's go into some of the things. So when prepping to our trip, please ignore my handwriting. This was like flashy, quick drop down. When preparing for the trip, I did some research to say where did we want to go, what do we want to do with my husband, like what do we want to do, right? So I had here, which I absolutely love that this planner already has it, places to visit and things to do. So we wanted to go to some, so you can see that I ticked where we went, I X'd where we didn't go, because when you plan ahead, you have all these things that you want to do in your head, but when you arrive, like remember also the time zone is like they're 7 hours behind us. We are in Toronto, we're 7 hours ahead. So we're thinking we have all this time to do all these things, and it was no. So we wanted to go to like the national park to see the animals, which we did. We wanted to go to the National Museum of Kenya. We did Maasai Market. We did Giraffe Center, Elephant Sanctuary, Village Market, Two Rivers Mall, some other malls. And I can tell you guys, those malls are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Some of them I've never seen anything like them before. Really beautiful malls. And then we wanted to and then we wanted to go to Diana, which is by the beach, which reminded me so much of Jamaica. Like it reminded us so much of being in Jamaica. Absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. And then we wanted to go to the Nairobi Street Kitchen. Now, if you ever take a trip to Kenya and you go to Nairobi, I will highly recommend these places that we've been. And some of the places we didn't go, because these are absolutely fun places. And the food is so good. We went to Nairobi Street Kitchen, loved it. It's like an outside but indoor outdoor sort of set up with a lot of food trucks, and you sit inside at any other restaurants, and you order, and they go and get the food from wherever you want, any one of the trucks you want, and bring it to you. Food and drinks and music is playing. They were playing a lot of Jamaican music, dancehall music, reggae music. We absolutely love it. We felt like we were really, really at home in Jamaica, because it was so much of the Jamaican influence that we saw in Kenya. Absolutely loved it. So then we wanted to do snorkeling. We wanted to go to, when we went to Diani, this was like things for Nairobi, things for Diani. So Diani, we really wanted to relax, but we wanted to see a little bit of Diani as well. So we wanted to go snorkeling. We did. We went to a place called Robinson Island, which was nice. There were some other things we wanted to do we didn't get to do because we relaxed. We bought a fish. We looked after it. We went to the grocery store, went to eat on like the beaches, went to eat in so many different restaurants, on the beach, off the beach. So nice. On different like hotel properties we went to eat. We just enjoyed it and just like basking, like being away and being in the moment and talking to the locals and like eating with the locals and just getting to know that. We also found a charity that we also went and support on our trip, which was absolutely amazing, and it just brought the trip together, like being able to give back outside of, you know, of the normal, you know, being able to go to Kenya and to give back to a charity, a kids charity. I absolutely enjoyed that. So we're going to go into the budget a little bit, but before we do, I'm going to speed this through because I know we are getting there in time. So pre-trip, some things that we did: we took the yellow fever vaccine, the malaria pills with us, and we packed our first aid kits. We made sure we brought like bug repellent, which we didn't need bug repellent at all. Not one mosquito, not one bug, nothing. We were fine. We didn't really need the vaccines or the malaria pill. We were fine. So we kind of stopped taking the malaria pills like a couple of days into the trip because we realized we were fine. Because it's some pills that you get and you take them every single day. Yeah, we realized we didn't need that. Some countries, however, in Africa, it is mandated for you to take these, the yellow fever and the malaria. Kenya was not one of them, so we didn't need to take the yellow fever. We didn't need to take the malaria. We did that just because, right? Because you didn't. For us, we were saying, oh, you know, we don't know who we're gonna come in attack with, etc., etc., etc. But Kenya was pretty much good. We didn't need any of this because we were like really stationed in the cities too. So we didn't need a lot of that. But if you were going to places like Tanzania, for example, they require these things. So just check to make sure that you know what vaccines are required when you are traveling as well. So the other thing I must say is like check your phone plan. You know, before there are a lot of like eSIMs that you can download to travel. I didn't do an eSIM. I checked with my phone provider and they were having a promotion for a year where you paid $100 and you could stream, you can use your pretty much your data and everything, have access to your phone services that you would have here anywhere in the world. So I went with that, and so I still have that for up to a year. So my next few travels next year before September will all be covered under that plan as well. So it was a great plan. All right, these are some of the things I laid out like for the transportation and traveling, mainly for like when I want to get to some place, when I want to leave, so this was a whole like trip at a glance. We left Toronto, we're at the terminals, we got to Dubai, the terminals, we got to know Nairobi, what the terminal was when we left. So we left 2:55 p.m. We arrived in, so we left 2:55 September 7th, left Toronto. We arrived in Dubai 3:55. Was it 3:55? We arrived the next day. No, we didn't arrive at 3:55. I can't remember when we arrived. Looks like I didn't write that down. But we left 2:55 on the 7th, and I know we arrived the next day in Dubai. So the Dubai, it was like 15 hours or something. Can't remember exactly. And then we left there, and then we like Nairobi was like 4-5 hours away. And so yeah, and then we left Nairobi, got back. This was our return trip. Left Nairobi, arrived in Dubai, and then left. So Dubai was like the furthest part of the trip. I think it was probably like 15 hours. can't remember. I will put it on the screen if I remember right now when editing. And so yeah, I have all of that done. I left where we took the flight also from Nairobi to Diani, and then from Diani back. I have all of those, like when we need to get there, where are we going, what are we doing, I have that written down. Also have like some of the prices here for different things, like where we stayed. I have them in Canadian dollars. This is some of the things that we stayed, like the Tumble House, the Tequila Sunrise. I mentioned the cottage that we stayed in, and then like the Holiday Inn and the Airbnb. Okay, so those are some of the things. This was like my tracking, guys. So I wrote down every single expense, everything I spent on, everything we spent on, my husband and I, both of us. Like, I wrote it down. So this is it. And so I highlighted it to say, hey, this was accommodation, this was souvenir, food, transportation, excursion, flight, parking, and then charity. So that is everything here. So for all the days, your girl wrote everything down, every single thing, every tip, every tuk-tuk, every restaurant, every flight, every single thing is written here, every souvenir. So let me break that down for you right now before I keep you guys any longer, because I also need to get ready for work. So I will recommend, like, as you can see, this book, I really love it. And so it has those places you can put like your memorable moments. My memorable moment was like feeding giraffes and just seeing all the animals in person, you know, and then being able to give back to some kids and charity. So love that, an orphanage that we went to. So you can see there is another, this will be used for my next trip. And then they have the same pages, the monthly view, which I loved, the research, the budget, the checklist, packing list, transportation, accommodation. I love this. I definitely use this again. Travel journal. And as I said, it's linked down below, and there was a coupon that I had, so hopefully it's still working, so you can check it out. This is the expense tracker. Love. Memorable. Okay, I think the alarm came in, and then like, yeah, everything stops this video. I need to look at the setup because I don't like that. Anyways, notes and ideas, etc., and then on to the next trip. So anyways, let's get into, I hope that part of the video is saved, because to do this thing all over again, I would be really not happy. So let's see. So let me just go into the budget quickly and what we spent. So budget, there was transportation, accommodation, food, souvenirs, flight, excursion, internal flights, just because I wanted to separate them a little bit, packing and charity. Sorry, parking and charity, because I parked at the airport, and then it matched pretty much these and this color, so I am able to put it in here. So budget, let's go one line by line. So transportation, we budgeted 500, we spent 213. Hope you guys can see. So that means we were under by 286. Accommodation, we budgeted 2,500, we spent 1956.87, under again by 543.13. Food, we budgeted 1,000, we spent 1447.41, so we were over by 447.41. Souvenirs, 200, we budgeted, we spent 548.60, and that's because we wanted to take back a little trinket for, you know, a lot of our family members. So we brought back some t-shirts, we brought back some like earrings that were made out of cow bones. We brought back like a few things for a lot of people, so yeah, that was why. Flight, 4,000 was budgeted, we spent 3,899.92. That was for our flight from Toronto to Nairobi and back. Excursion, 900, we actually spent 498.66, not too bad, and this is Canadian dollars, guys. Okay, internal flights, we budgeted 700 because we figured we would need to take a flight because everything was so far away. We spent 599.98, so we were so flight, the international flight, we were under by 100, excursion under by 400, international flight under by 100. And then parking, we budgeted 200, we spent 188.65. And then charity, we didn't have anything budgeted, but then we spent $50, and like 50 Canadian goes a long way. We just bought a bunch of groceries and stuff and brought it to the charity, like rice and flour and sugar and different things like that. Deodorants, personal hygiene items, different things like that, and it went a very, very far way. So that was what we budgeted. So we budgeted $10,000. $10,000 for this trip is what was budgeted. And we spent $9,403.25. So we were under by $596.75, guys. So yay, all done. So you know now what we budgeted, a little bit more about my trip, what we spent, and I hope that helps you when you are planning your trip to get things all budgeted out and get things all secure. We used our credit card for majority of this. I think we traveled with 1,000 Canadian cash. And so I took 5, my husband took 5, and then yeah, we kind of like use it along way. It was already included in this 10K as well. And then we used our credit card. Like I used my credit card, he used his credit card for, like we took out a travel card, which enabled us to get the discount off the parking, because the parking at the airport was like $400. We were able to get it for this. So, and also we were able to get lounge access with the credit card, which was absolutely amazing, because we were able to go to some lounges like in Dubai when we had a layover. Highly recommend. I think I'm gonna research a better card though, because yeah, there was a little bit of, you know, like it didn't give you everything, but it gave you some things which helped us along the way. But I'm sure there are probably better options out there, so I need to do some research there. But this trip was planned, I want to say, in like 2 to 3 weeks. That's how it was, like a very impromptu trip. But we had some money saved, and so we're able to get that through, and then the rest we just pulled from what we had saved from last year. So stay tuned for where we're going next, what will be the budget and the breakdown, and we'll be happy to share. Oh, before you go, so what we will do now is I will take the yes, we saved it and spent it, which is this, and I will fill this out to say what was the total. 9,403.25. What did I use it for? Kenya trip. This was September 2025. And then this will go into my end of year count up when we have it. So yeah, I mentioned that we did take some money from like previous year savings, but it wasn't a lot. We kind of took it out mostly out of what we did this year. So I'm just going to count it in this year. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, keep budgeting, stay frugal, and walk good. Bye.